Ja Morant has started an NBA season going ballistic, showcasing to the NBA world he is the most entertaining young star the league has to offer. Within the first week of NBA action, Ja Morant has made a commanding early statement that he's on the precipice of having another MVP caliber season, and he could actually win it all if he keeps his level of play. The predictions for the Memphis Grizzlies were not as high going into the season since previous players left in free agency and players are currently injured like Dillon, Zion Williams, and Jaren Jackson Jr., who's an all-defensive team member last year. But Morant has upped his game to a completely different level and has the Grizzlies outperforming the expectations set this year. From scoring efficiently, Ja's playmaking advancement, and an upgrade on the defensive side of the ball, Ja is displaying how much of a leap he is taking this year. Let's start off with Ja's scoring repertoire. Through 4 games, Ja is averaging 35 points per game, along with 7 assists per game and 4.3 rebounds per game, while shooting 54% from the field. Last year, Ja led all players in points in the paint, and it was unreal to see a 6'3" guard live above the rim as Ja Morant did. But that exact same level of difficulty is being reciprocated in this new season. With his athletic ability, it makes all the sense why Ja Morant is one of the best finishers at the rim in the NBA. If it's gliding through traffic or using his uncanny strength, he has a knack of knowing how to finish around the rim or getting to the basket. Ja's quick first step also enables him to beat defenders that can't stay in front of him, and it breaks down defenses having to overcommit and worry about Ja's slashing ability. In transition, he's a madness, or a blur, and is one of the best transition scorers in the NBA through dishing the rock, but most usually getting to the rim. And as we've seen, if you're under the basket, you don't want to be there if Ja's coming. When we talk about Ja's quick first step, you can see RJ Barrett gives up too much space to Ja, and Ja is able to attack that lead foot, attack the basket immediately. With Ja, he's so quick that if you're not focused on him wherever he's at, he's too quick and too fast and too agile to get to the rim at a moment's notice. Watch how Ja attacks in the half court. You see how Steven Adams sets a screen to free up the defender off of Ja Morant, and with the ability to attack the big man, he can either go to the basket or stop and pop for a floater. In this situation, Ja Morant's able to pop a floater, which Hartenstein is not able to contest. It puts a lot of pressure on the defender in drop, determining what to do when Ja Morant's coming at you with a full head of steam. What also makes Ja so lethal in the half court is his ability to navigate in the pick and roll. A lot of credit goes to Steven Adams here, and his strength setting hard screens. Ja can maneuver through those screens with ease. With the defender stuck behind Steven Adams, it's a 1v1 matchup with Ja going to the rim against the big man. Here's another example of how those screens set by Steven Adams frees up the game for Ja Morant. Jalen Green's a very good screen navigator. Once the screen is set, Jalen has to recover back, and with Ja Morant, he has a full head of steam going up against Bruno Fernando, who he can attack aggressively to the rim. Because of the freed up screen set by Steven Adams, Ja Morant has a one-on-one matchup with Bruno Fernando, and we all know who's winning this matchup. Some of these shots look easy, but it'll take some skill to know when to accelerate and when to decelerate. Ja Morant is a crafty finisher at the basket, and these plays just show that he's able to maneuver and find ways to find open spots where he can get his shot off. Ja's shooting around 86% from the free throw line, that's notching in around 10 free throw attempts a game, so he's still creating contact and getting to the free throw line, which is important for a guard. The biggest surprise I think that most people can agree on is Ja's improvement from shooting from distance. He's making 3 3-pointers a game and is shooting 60% from 3, which I doubt will continue for the remainder of the season, but if he can still keep up his 3-point shooting, then the offensive game for Ja opens up to a whole nother level. This leads me to my next talking point. Ja is one of the best playmakers in the NBA. The assist numbers may not be as high compared to other point guards in the league, but Ja has a much refined playmaking skill that can get the others on his team involved while still getting his own. It's easy to limit Ja's ability to playmake just because he's an athletic guard that scores first and can't see the floor. But that's the complete opposite in terms for Ja Morant. He knows where his teammates are, and dating from last year, he's been a very willing and capable playmaker. When the defense is worried about Ja's quick first step, they have to shrink the floor to limit him getting to the paint, which in turn makes it much harder to guard the perimeter where the Grizzlies are able to shoot the 3 from. On this play, you can see the Rockets are playing Ja Morant much more tighter. Once Ja gets the ball, Steven Adams sets a screen to free him up, and Ja Morant has a full lane headed to the basket to put pressure on the rim. Once he gets to the restricted area, he already knows that Kevin Porter Jr. is going to send help, and once he helps, he finds his guy in the corner, which leads to an open 3. This is a play made by Ja Morant's ability to put pressure on the rim. You look at Jabari Smith, who's helping off the corner a little bit. KPJ has to help off the corner as well, and once he gets to a spot, he knows where to pass it to his open shooter in Conchar, which leads to 3 points for the Grizzlies. He doesn't have to make a crafty behind the back or make a pass that we've never seen made before, but it's the ability of Ja Morant to get to the basket that makes defenses so wary of where he's at all the time. Kevin Durant has a long wingspan, one of the longer players in the game, and he's outstretched to make sure that Ja Morant doesn't have a free lane to get to the basket. By doing so, he leaves another shooter at the perimeter open for Ja Morant to dime. Ja Morant comes off the screen, hezzies, dimes his open shooter, leads to three. Kevin Durant's caught in no man's land and couldn't recover in time. I don't want to come across as if I'm saying Ja is the next reincarnation of Chris Paul, Steve Nash, or John Stockton, but his playmaking advancement has improved and will be something to watch as the season progresses, and it could cement himself as a top 10 player in the NBA. The Grizzlies have great shooting, headlined by Desmond Bane, who can knock down a high volume amount of threes, and with Ja being a great scorer, the floor general skill set is slowly catching up to his scoring upside. In regards to Ja Morant on the defensive end of the ball, he's been subpar as a defender for the majority of his career. There's been moments where we've seen Ja Morant sit in a chair and actually play elite level defense at times, so the ability is there. This season, Ja has been a slightly above league average defender while still producing efficiently on the offensive end. Again, the season is very early, but it's very exciting to see that Ja is performing so massively on offense while still holding his own on defense, while Jaren Jackson Jr. is out, the defensive anchor for the Memphis Grizzlies. And I won't lie, it's pretty loud to see Ja do his best LeBron James impersonation when he goes up for those chase down blocks. What's important to me is that Ja is still trying to be a plus defender for the Grizzlies as they get back healthy and maintain his production, because that will, one, give Memphis a strong edge in majority of their early calendar games as they get healthy and return back to strength, and two, it displays the talent of Ja Morant. Now he's finally taken the biggest step in being a positive defender for his team. Even if his offensive metrics do slip as the season goes along, I still think he'll be able to perform at a high level for the Grizz. Some might say it's premature, but I seriously believe that this is the season Ja Morant will take the next leap in his development as an NBA player. He's already shown he's a vocal leader for his team in the locker room and as an on-court leader with his performance. His continuation of his play will only lead to great things in Memphis and will have many fans and media members truly believing that Ja Morant is no doubt a top 10 player in the NBA right now. I'm looking forward to his games this season to see if we're on the verge of seeing the next young superstar go crazy. Leave me know in the comment section what you guys think and your thoughts. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel and turn that post notification bell on so you never miss a video. Until next time, stay on beat.